For many of our clients, philanthropy is a core family value and an essential part of their legacy. Today, we'll explore how to pass on these values to children and highlight several tax-efficient giving strategies that you can consider this year-end. Instilling a sense of philanthropy in children often begins with an open and candid discussion about why philanthropy matters. Whether your children are young or grown, it's never too late to discuss the importance of helping others, the issues facing our communities, and how we can make a positive impact. Encouraging children to share their thoughts and feelings about giving is a great first step. Listening actively to their perspectives helps them feel valued and recognize their integral role in the family's philanthropic efforts. Building habits can play an important role in many aspects of life, including fostering a sense of philanthropy in children. Incorporate acts of giving into everyday life, especially with young kids. This can make philanthropy a natural part of their world. Activities like donating toys, participating in community cleanups, or setting aside a portion of their allowance can help them see the direct impact of their contributions and experience the personal satisfaction that comes from their own philanthropy. Creating a family mission statement or vision around giving can also be helpful. It can make giving more fun, more focused, and more effective. To begin developing a family mission statement, we encourage you to sit down as a family and discuss what you want your collective impact to be. You can begin with questions like, what do each of you value and why? Or what is one problem in our world which, if solved, would make the greatest impact? Opening this discussion and finding common ground can help you craft a shared vision for your family's philanthropic efforts and a plan for creating maximum impact. Now, when it comes to charitable tax planning, it's important to remember that any act of charity should always start with charitable intent, not tax savings. Charitable tax planning strategies can increase the tax savings of charitable giving, but at the end of the day, you are still making a gift. 3 key strategies we want to highlight are gifts from IRAs, donating appreciated assets, and the use of donor-advised funds. For those over the age 70 and a half with tax-deferred IRAs, tax law allows direct gifts from your IRA to a qualified charity of up to $105,000 this year. This is called a qualified charitable distribution and does not have to be counted as income on your tax return, but it can count towards your required minimum distribution for the year. While you cannot also claim it as an itemized deduction since it's not included in income, it does reduce the taxable income that would have otherwise been reported, which is like getting a 100% deduction for your donation without contending with any income limitations, and you can still claim the standard deduction or your other itemized deductions. Be sure to make these qualified charitable distributions before you take out your required minimum distribution for the year, as there are ordering rules, and it's important to make sure that the charity deposits your check before year end. While making a gift by cash or check is easy, donating appreciated securities like stocks that have increased in value can be more tax efficient. If you've owned the investment for more than a year, you can deduct the fair market value on your tax return and avoid paying the capital gains tax on the appreciation, which is the profit that you would have made if you had sold them. For example, if you bought a stock for $4,000 that's now worth $10,000, donating it allows you to deduct the full $10,000 on your tax return and avoid paying tax on that $6,000 of profit. Now, there are limits on how much you can deduct each year. Generally, for appreciated securities, it's up to 30% of your adjusted gross income if they're donated to public charities, or 20% if donated to private foundations. Unused amounts can carry forward to the next year's tax return for up to 5 years. Finally, donor-advised funds can be a useful charitable planning tool. A donor-advised fund is a separate account that you open with certain host charities like Schwab Charitable. You set up an account, contribute assets into it, which can either be held or invested, and later granted to qualified charities. You receive a tax deduction in the year that you make a contribution into the account, regardless of when you later make grants to the charities that you wish to support. This allows you to separate the timing of your charitable deduction from the distribution of cash to the ultimate charitable recipients. For example, you might make a large initial contribution and then distribute cash out over several years to various charities. This strategy can be helpful when paired with high income tax years or proactive strategies that increase income like Roth IRA conversions. As an added bonus, the donor advised fund can greatly reduce paperwork come tax season, as you only need to keep track of your initial contributions into the account for tax reporting. With year-end approaching, we encourage anyone planning to make charitable gifts to begin the planning process now. Each of these strategies has additional nuance and considerations that should be explored in concert with your tax advisor and your team at Ferguson Wellman and Westbury Investments. Beginning planning now can allow adequate time to explore strategies and timing issues before year-end and avoid last-minute decisions. With year-end right around the corner, we encourage anyone planning to make charitable gifts to start that process now and reach out to your portfolio manager.